We just gotta keep the energy flowing, baby. Talk more about your Zane. What are you hoping for? What kind of gun are you gonna use, do you think? I've actually got two of them. This is probably the main one I'm going to work on. Zane gains increased action skill cooldown. I've got to read back over it. The main thing is we got this shield here for the fellas. So that you guys can... Let me look down this real quick. Gun damage, because it's Borderlands and gun damage is always the king. The more damage, the better's math. You guys, just like Toby, get reload speed and health regeneration by going through the banner. The shield recharge delay thing is going to end up being important later, Walter. It would stay up. The shield recharge delay is going to end up tying into his action skill cooldown. And every time he gets an action skill cooldown, he's going to end up getting more action skills. This is all going to tie together. You can see it's all about shields here at the beginning. Alright, now CC. Because my Zane's going to be all about crowd control. Every time you score a critical hit, you get to slow the enemies. All this shield stuff's going to tie in later. Get an increased action skill cooldown. This rate is based on the amount of shield he has. The more percent full, the greater the bonus. Now you would think that that would go against having a max shield capacity, but having a higher shield capacity will also tie in. Yeah, I'm going all in the CC meta. This is the Toby Baroness Zane. Alright. And then of course we got to increase the shield recharge rate because the higher my shield is, so the quicker it's full, the quicker the cooldown is going to be. Alright. Whenever Zane is damaged, it gains damage resistance. It's only 1 point in here just so you always have a little bit of a passive damage resistance. Why not? This will all be in flux as we go forward. And I've got a couple different variations on this already, but... Anyway, Zane gains health regeneration the lower his shield is, the higher the bonus. Alright, which is fine. Which is why I want to increase this. Because it's going to be a percent. You know, if I have 100 shield and I have 10 left, well, I still have 10% of my shield. Well, if I have 10,000 shield and I still have 1,000 left, well, that's only 10%, so I'm going to be getting the health regeneration out the ass, but I still have quite a bit of shield. While Zane's shields are active, he gains increased gun damage and accuracy. So again, I want more shield to be stacking with both this and this, and of course I want my shields back quicker to be... so that all these are always working in tandem together. In fact, that one too, because of the cooldown. Kill skill. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, they create a cryo nova. Well, that ties into having 5 points in the slow. Every time there's a critical hit. You don't even got to kill him. You just got to hit crits. Crits and slows. And I'll attach a slow to a cryo nova. A lot of crowd control, the so-called CC meta, as something said. Whenever Zane freezes his enemy, his shield instantly begins recharging. That's the big daddy. That's the big daddy right there. Alright, well look at this. We're going to be making a cryo nova. We have a 20% chance to freeze them, and we're making cryo novas. And every single time we freeze somebody, oh, all this just hit again. All this just hit again. These top, this one, this one. Zane's barrier gains the effects of his currently hit. And now what we know also is that class mods can up your capstone. So, anyway, Zane's barrier gains the effects of his currently equipped shield mod. Additionally, shield effects are applied to all allies near the barrier. So this is mostly the build I'm going to be going for when playing with you guys. Again, you guys are going to get these benefits. You guys are going to get the gun damage. You guys are going to get the shield recharge delay. Of course, shield recharge delay also helps my build because in order for me to have all this health regeneration, I need shield. And it's just going to stack with one another. Now, all this ties into this. Of course, whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, a cryonova is triggered around Zane and his clone. And what did we say earlier? Every single time that we freeze an enemy, or is it every time we freeze an enemy, we gain even more health regeneration. So we're looking pretty tanky at this point, because we ought to be freezing enemies pretty much all the time. Whenever the clone takes damage, Zane's shield is restored by a portion of that damage. Well, there goes my cooldown. Looks like Looks like Zane's going to be getting his digiclone back. See how those stack? It breaks. Therefore, your digiclone's about to go down. But because it broke, you just got your shield back, which means you probably just went ahead and filled up your whole cooldown. Again, topping it with all these. Alright. Whenever one or more of Zane's action skills are active, he gains increased gun damage. Well, we're going to have the clone up all the time, and the cooldown for the barrier is not very high. I've got another one of these, like I said, if I'm playing alone, that ties all into this drone, though, but still involves a lot of cryo. A small buff for the clone just to get me into the next tree. If it's not cooling down, I might as well have it up, so of course you want it out longer to really ensure that the cooldown has always got the digiclone up, because the more I can switch with the digiclone, the more I can create cryo waves, and the more cryo waves I can create, the more kills I can get. And every single time I get a kill, I create another cryo wave. Kill skill. Whenever Zane kills an enemy, he and his digiclone received increased gun damage and gain health regeneration for a few seconds. Just general principle, gun damage. Again, it's Borderlands. Health regeneration and gun damage, those are two great skills. Fractal frags. The digiclone throws a copy of Zane's current grenade on when it's... This is a great one. I mean, especially if it's an ice grenade. He has a crazy, crazy good grenade build. Like, okay, you can't throw a grenade any longer. It doesn't matter. In one of these trees, as soon as you spawn the digiclone, he throws 8 grenades out. Here's a skill that I'm going to fall in love with and need to rework to put more points into this. The first shot fired from Zane's gun has a chance to also fire a grenade. I just put one in there on principle. I believe as we play the game, I'll end up having a second look at this to put a lot more in there. Alright, so here's the third stack to this. Whenever Zane swaps places with his clone, his shield immediately begins recharging. I can do this all day. So that ties back into every single time that my shield is full, I get more cooldown. And guess what? I just swapped places with my clone. But because my shields are back, oh, I can put out another clone. And because I can do another clone, it's going to be really tough to kill him, because during Fight for Your Life, if your digiclone is active, destroy the clone and immediately gain a second wind with full health. The clone should almost always be out, always be killing, always be gaining you health and shields while you're creating Crova waves and creating even more digiclones. And every time you go down, because you've almost always got your clone out, you should always be able to get yourself back up. Movement speed is because I like movement speed. Again, this will be in flux as we get into builds, into release, because we don't know how anointed loot is going to work with him. We don't know how mods are going to work with him, shields and artifacts. These are just general ideas. And this one is about survivability, and it's about cryo. Whenever Zane summons his digiclone, it consumes up to 3 grenades for every grenade consumed. This is a great one. So you can be shooting grenades, and when your digiclone goes up, he instantly fires 3 grenades. Well, we almost always have the digiclone up. So this guy can spam grenades even though he can't even equip a grenade. And the first tree I'm going to go down is this, because cryo is going to be so important to this build. But if I'm playing mostly alone, then there's cryo in here too on the other build I was working on. I love this skill. Again, flux.